Well, that is the current status of my Ducati fairings. And here is the current status of my baby, my 2023 Panigale V4 SP2, which was once my dream bike.
I don't give a
Thankfully, I did not crash Luna here. I'm gonna explain exactly what happened in this video. Now, on the community tab, I'm actually gonna put up a poll, and I need you guys to go vote because your input is extremely important. So I need y'all's help on the fate of what we're gonna do with Luna. Now, some of you guys know we're actually in the process of doing a full rebuild, full color change. We had super leg wings coming. We were even waiting on some carbon parts from manufacturers, which if anyone opens a carbon company and can get parts quicker than 8 to 16 weeks, I feel like they'd have a very successful company because the wait times on some of these parts are absolutely insane. Did I mention that we had super leg wings coming for this thing? It was gonna be something different, very, very different. That was the plan with this bike, with the forged carbon, the exhaust setup, the color, just build something the internet has not seen yet. But right now we are currently stuck with a bunch of completely broken, destroyed, sketched up wings, fairings, etc. and my baby Luna looking like this. Which kind of leaves us with the question of what do we do with my baby Luna here? Thankfully, these are not the OEM fairings. I'm a little smarter than that. These are aftermarket fairings that we had custom painted, but we've got two options. We either A, buy new fairings, pay to have them repainted again, and go through all that process again, which is probably like another 1 to 2 month process. The other option is to put this thing back to stock and sell it, which I really don't want to do. As you guys know, I'm going to talk about later in this video, they just dropped the brand new 2025 V4R, and you guys absolutely love the Turbo Busa first ride video. So we could sell this, buy a Busa, and then put the rest of the money towards actually building the Busa. But alright, enough yapping. Let's head back to the garage and put the stock fairings back on. We got a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, my baby Luna. I've missed that scream. Still sounds phenomenal. Alright, let's head back to the garage and put the stock fairings back on. Because I need to go for a ride on this thing ASAP. It's been too long. Too many hours and she is finally back. As you guys can see, we got the super leg upper wings up here. We don't have the lowers mounted yet. We will get them mounted, and then we've also added a new forged carbon piece up top. So here are the lowers. As you guys can see, they're beautiful. They're gonna go like down there. We don't have time to drill and mount, and I'm gonna be anal about it, so we're gonna wait on that. So for right now, we're just rocking the uppers. We'll see how everything kind of looks once we get it off of the lift here. Oh yeah, been too long, Nina. And we got the SP2, of course. 494. Love that new tag as well. It's so sick. Oh, it feels so good to be back on the dub. There's nothing like this bike. Alright, come on, cold tires, cold tires. Chill, chill. Let's go, Luna. Oh, I need a track day ASAP. Also, I put this thing in the GP shift so that we don't get any more false neutrals, hopefully between 5th and 6th. We're gonna test that out tonight. It's 2 a.m., couldn't sleep. Normally I don't film this stuff, but let's go for a ride. Let's go for a rip, actually. The thing with the duck, if you don't stomp on that shift, you're gonna get that false neutral. But GP shift, I'm stomping down on it. I shouldn't have that issue anymore. That's really frustrating. If anyone has a solution for that, please, please, please let me know. We'll try it one more time here.
right, let's test this out again. Please, Luna, no more false neutral. Yeah, you really gotta just legitimately stomp on the shifter every single time. Man, oh man, I forgot how much I miss this bike. There is no other bike that rides like the V4. It just makes torque and power everywhere in the RPM. Mid-range, top end, low end. It's hard to beat. That's my fault. I'm gripping on too tight.
Hey, yo, what the f?
You know how powerful this bike is. If you grip on too tight to your steering, it'll start doing that, especially on the Ducatis. You gotta be light. There we go. Man, ripping at night is so much better. Look at all this open road. Never during the day would this ever look like this. This is mid. Just the main thing you gotta look out for is drunk drivers. Those downshifts, man. Yeah, this bike's just so good, so good. You guys already know what I'm gonna say about the Skyline. We're definitely gonna wake some people up with this bike. Damn, there is security. I wonder if he cares if I take a picture. I don't know. Do you know anywhere else I could go that would be decent lighting? Another parking garage that doesn't really have security or anything? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right, it's crazy how when you talk to people, they end up being real cool. Shout out to that security guard. He kicked me out. He said his boss saw me. Let's finish this out real quick.
But like I was saying in the garage, this piece is the only non-forged piece right here. And if it was forged, it would look so much better. So we might have to see if we can get that custom made. I appreciate SC obviously doing it in the carbon, but we got to go with the all forged. We got to keep the forged theme going. The only other non-forged thing on this bike are these wheels that come factory that are freaking love. I have toyed with the idea of going with the full forged carbon wheels, which would look phenomenal, but they're also like 4 or 5 grand, if not more. The other issue is that they're gonna take like 3 months to get here. So I'm like, I don't want to spend all that money and then wait another 3 months on a bike that we got to talk about if we're even gonna keep. I stepped on my camera. Also, I brought a backpack and everything. I hate wearing backpacks. And I forgot to put a battery in this camera. So I went to film and there's no battery. So that's why we're on the phone. But anyways, I absolutely love Luna. There's a lot of money that's gone into this bike. From the full exhaust system, which if you guys know, to even get that installed, it's like just in labor alone, I think it takes like 12 hours. And that, like, most shops charging like 200 an hour. You guys can do the math. And that's not even including the exhaust or anything. Of course, all the forged carbon pieces that we have on here. And there's a lot of small details. Unless you see this bike in person, you're really not gonna appreciate like the aftermarket tail light that's on there. The sprocket carrier, I mean, this setup alone is like 2G. There's a lot of money into this bike. I love this bike. This was like my dream bike. This to me signifies when I was finally seeing some progress with the YouTube stuff and I was able to afford this. I know it's not everyone's favorite build. I know there are a lot of you that actually do enjoy this build too, but it was kind of for me, like all the haters, all the people that doubted me, all the people that made fun of me when I started the channel, it kind of confirmed that I was on the right path and we were making some moves. And obviously we still have a long way to go, but part of me does want to finish the build, see it through, do the forged wheels, install the lower super leg wings, and get that piece custom made. But you guys comment down below, because we've got a few different options or routes that we can take with this bike. A, we can sell it, put that money towards a Busa and doing a turbo build. B, we could sell it and get the V4R. Or C, we keep it, finish the build, and enjoy it for that much longer. I also think Ducati is going to be announcing the super leg soon, allegedly, which will be really cool to see what updates they have for this bike or this platform in general. But I know I've been avoiding it, so let me explain what exactly happened with the fairings on my bike. And then I'll also give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the new V4R and if I even really want the bike, to be honest with you. Because yes, it's an amazing race bike. There are some things that kind of concern me, to be honest. Meat and potatoes of the video, what happened to the fairings on my bike? And You know when you do something really stupid in life, then as soon as something bad happens, you're like, why did I do that? That's basically what happened with Luna. If I'm completely transparent with you guys, it was just an error on my part. I test fitted the fairings to see how I liked the color because I was kind of on the fence about it, but once I put it on, I liked it. We were waiting on some carbon parts. We had the tank cover coming, this front fairing coming, so that everything just kind of flowed up top in forged carbon, and it's a 8 to 16 week wait. So put everything together, got the silver clash, ordered the parts. We're about 6 weeks in, and mind you, I love riding this bike, so every time I go in the garage and look at it, it like pains me to see it sitting there in pieces, not put together, and I can't take it out to ride. So I went to start it just to make sure it was good, turned the key, and the bike barely like turned on. Like the battery and the fuel pump barely primed. So I was like, okay, let me at least start it so we get some charge or some juice in the battery. And when I turned that key, that was my biggest mistake. Started the bike, I heard the bike, and this thing sounds insane. It's something you gotta hear in person to really appreciate. Once I heard the bike idling, I was like, oh, let me just run to the store up the street. And mind you, I live really close to a store. I don't even have to get on the main road or a main road. Like the speed limit from my neighborhood to the store is 25 miles an hour. So I was like, let me just take it real quick over there, get the items and come back just to like run the bike a little bit, because it's not good to start a bike, let it get to operating temperature, and then shut it off immediately. So I was like, all right, let me just go up the street, literally less than a mile. That was my second mistake. Before that, I just kind of shook the fairings. I was like, all right, they're on there. Mind you, I hadn't put the fairings permanently on. I just kind of tested everything. I'm gonna just put a couple bolts in here and there so at least held, and I could see what it looked like and decided if I was gonna go with that color or not. Yeah, I turned out of my street, shifted into second, and as soon as I shifted into second, boom, the fairings just went flying. So that was fun. I literally watched them fly. I looked behind me, there was a car behind me, a car just hit them, ran them over. So yeah, there's that. I really wish I had a cooler story. It was a very expensive, stupid lesson or mistake to learn. Very obvious lesson. I'm not blaming anyone but myself. That was completely on me. It's hot as up here, by the way. Which, shop at FastLaneDgang.com. If you want to get yourself something, this bike culture shirt's one of my favorites. Burn rubber, not your soul. Comment down below what movie is that from. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, at first I thought the wings looked like too much, but as I get used to them, I feel like these flow with the bike way better than the 2023 to 2024 winglets look. Those little wings aren't my favorite, especially from this angle. Just look at the detail in that wing. That looks absurd. And then once we get the lower portion down here, it's gonna look so sick. When you're sitting on it, like you feel like you're sitting on something special. I know Mako's gonna put something weird on that. Just the craftsmanship of these are insane. These are actually from V4 Evo. Shout out to them. If you guys want these super leg wings, highly recommend them. Good quality. Fitment was good. I did have to trim the fairing just a little bit. There's like a notch that was kind of pushing this out. So I trimmed that notch and then it was able to sit perfectly flush on both sides. As you can see, this is such a beautiful machine. Let me put the lights on one more time. I can't get over it. Let's hop on, keep riding, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about what I think about the new V4R and if we should sell my beloved Luna, my SP2, my dream bike for a long time. I wanted a V4, not even a V4S or any of the special models. I just wanted a base model V4. That was the dream, and we were able to get this. So this bike has a very special place in my heart. It'd be really hard to part ways with this thing. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here before we get a security guard in trouble. Shout out to him for letting us stay and film the rest of that clip, because I don't know where I was gonna go. Also, you guys comment down below if you would rock an FLG plate on your bike. Contemplating selling these. With the high rises in the background, definitely waking people up, but I think it's definitely worth it. Such a sick shot of all the buildings, and actually they're building up all this in Tampa too, so Tampa definitely up and coming. But all right, enough yapping, we'll ride it. Let's go. Oh yeah. We are 100% going the wrong way. Let's chat real quick. Let me calm down. I'm not used to all these empty roads. Now, Ducati obviously, is that a count? Oh no, it's not. Anyways, Ducati just dropped the brand new 2026 Panigale V4R. Now, I've been seeing all your comments asking, am I gonna get the bike? Honestly, to be completely transparent with you guys, maybe. And I want to explain why that. It's a maybe and not like a for sure yes or no. Now, if you've been following this build, I've had this bike for a few years now. You guys know this bike has the dry clutch, and we'll insert a clip. I'll have Mako insert a clip of how it sounds.
love how it sounds. I know it gets a lot of hate, and I thought it kind of sounded weird at first, but I feel like it's quintessential to owning a Ducati to have that dry clutch. But it doesn't come with its downsides. Obviously, the dry clutch is a racing clutch. It's better performance in racing scenarios, but in daily use and stuff like this, I need gas. In casual riding, it is not ideal at all. It's actually terrible. And that's because heat is really what wears that clutch out, essentially. Because there's no fluid. It's not a wet clutch. It's a dry clutch. So it's just metal on metal. So it generates a lot of heat, and like I said, that's what causes them to wear very quickly. Sorry, I couldn't resist. But here's the thing, I said if I were to buy another Ducati V4, I would buy a base model and do the upgrade. So I'd put better suspension on it than the electronic suspension. You guys know I hate electronic suspension now. Just because for a guy my size, I'm 250 pounds. The electronic suspension is not built for people like me. They're built for lighter guys. And honestly, the thing with suspension is that once you set it, you're really not going to go back in and play with it again. Like once it's set, like you're good. And there's better race setup suspensions that you can get the base model for and then have better suspension than the electronic, and you spent less money. And also, I would put different wheels on the Ducati if I were to get it. So that's even more of a reason to go with the base. I'm pretty sure the S has different wheels, but you can get even lighter wheels, spend less money overall if you just go with the base model. Now obviously the R is doing the complete opposite of that. I'm going with a very expensive bike. I'm getting the dry clutch. It does have the suspension I want, the TTX suspension, so that's a plus. But with the motor in the R, if you don't know, it's a race motor. So it is a homologated bike, so that means it has a 998cc motor in it. This is the 1100cc motor in it, the V4 and the V4S. And that's because this bike makes more mid-range. The R makes less mid-range, but it makes more top end. Obviously on the track, you're gonna want more top end. The thing with the R is that I do a lot of track days. I'm very grateful for that. You guys know I love this bike on the track, but on the street, this bike is king, which is primarily the riding that most people do, unless you're just a track rider only. But I do track and street, so I don't know if I want to buy another bike with a dry clutch and then the maintenance even be more expensive than this thing already is. Obviously, it's a great looking bike. It's making 240 horsepower, which is absolutely bonkers. Like that is plenty of power for the track. Honestly, you won't be able to stretch the legs of that bike unless you're at a big track like Coda or something, but around here in Florida, that's just a lot, which I'm not complaining, but it's a lot. I think the new wings look good. I'm not the biggest fan of the corner pods at the bottom, like bottom right of the fairing, but I understand their function, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I do have an allocation reserved if I want one. I've already talked to a Ducati dealership, which I think you guys would enjoy the content because it's out of state, so I'd fly. We'd make a video picking up the bike, taking delivery. I'd get an early allocation for it, so I'd get it pretty quick. I really want to hit it on this bridge, but I'm being responsible because we have no gas. Yeah, y'all comment down below. What do you think? I really think it'd be cooler to get a base model if we were to get the new one and then do a full build on it versus getting the R. And then at that point, it's such a beautiful machine. Like I want to get it wrapped or painted and do more of like a one-off custom build with a base model versus buying the R. And I want to be able to ride it without the obscene maintenance costs of that bike, because you guys know I ride my bikes. Like they all get a lot of mileage every single year. Now I do have 7 motorcycles, so it's not like an obscene amount, but I'll be honest with you, the dry clutch on this bike has prevented me or slowed me down from the amount that I've ridden it. When you start spending 2-3 grand every 2,000 miles on your bike, you're gonna pump the brakes on how much you ride it, unless it's like a special ride or you're going to a special event, which is kind of what this bike has become. And this ocean breeze right now feels so good. Yeah, like I said, comment below. I'll be reading the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I do know a lot of people that have put down deposits on R's, so I feel like once they drop, like you're just gonna see them everywhere. Like this SP2, you really don't see a ton of SPs. Like I see way more R's than I see SPs. And if we did a one-off build, I think it'd be cooler to, like I said, start with the base model versus getting the R and then it not really being on the channel that much because it's just a pain to maintain. Yes, found gas. 11.4 miles technically on E is not fun. Got you, Luna. As you guys know, it's not good to run your bike dry like that. Dude, this new forge piece looks really good, but what I want to do is the OEM piece is like red strips right here, so I want to get some red strips so it's integrated just a little bit more. I really want to put wider clip-ons on this too and do race buttons, but I want to make sure I don't lose my heated grips because I did pay extra money for those bad boys. Now obviously I do love Ducati, but I do think it would be cool to add a Busa into the fleet, and I think you guys would really want to see a Busa as well. These are race bikes. That's the only thing with owning a bike like this, man. It doesn't like to be put around on the street. Like, it gets really hot. It's not happy. It doesn't ride the best unless it's on the track being ripped. Now, like I said, we could sell this, buy a Busa, and use the money, the remaining money, to fund the turbo build, because obviously putting a turbo on a bike is not cheap, but it is a lot of fun. And also the thing with the Duck is that, I mean, it's essentially like, God, I miss this thing, dude. It's essentially the same bike, same motor, makes the same power as the current R. Like, it's nothing game changing to where it's like, oh, I gotta have that. You know what I'm saying? Gosh, let me calm down because the troopers hang out over here. You guys saw that in one of my last videos. And to be honest with you guys, I'm kind of running out of room in the garage. Like, I have 7 bikes. We might add an 8th, but if we do, there's going to be no space to work on the bikes, which is the reason why I got the lift, so that I can start working on my bikes again, because I forgot how much I did enjoy that. And you guys got to remember, we're still missing the Brutale. That should be done this upcoming week, so stay tuned for those videos. We did a complete transformation. I think we're still waiting on wheels, but the bike is officially back from paint. That was a cop for a sec. Alright, but I'm gonna leave you guys with this beautiful skyline of downtown Tampa. Once again, as always, comment below, for real, let me know. I'm really torn on what to do, but if you guys enjoyed that video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join the FastLaneD gang, baby! I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of my night and just rip the Ducati. It's about 4 a.m. so I'll start heading back home before this rush hour morning traffic starts. And you guys remember, work hard, be consistent. You can do anything you want in life. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.